how's the acclimation been?
It's been great. Thank God for Google. And the friend who lives in Cairo, and she, for a living, makes HGTV type home renovation shows.
Oh.
So I moved up here with a cheat. I have a person up here who knows how to do everything and knows the people. So I kind of thought I'd be like, great, I'll use her contractors, I'll use her plumber, I'll use her everything. As it turns out, people don't cross the river.
Right.
So I tried to call people over there. They wouldn't come over here. I've been finding my own people little by little, but she is an amazing resource for knowing how to do stuff. So I'll ask her, do you think this project I want to do on the house is truly DIY? Can I learn how to do it? Or is this something I should outsource? For instance, I have a little guest apartment, which is a crazy thing to say, moving from Brooklyn and having lived in the city.
It sounds so indulgent, but it's so normal. It's like having an outbuilding, you know?
Yeah, and I have one of those too.
Oh, you have outbuildings? I love outbuildings.
Yeah, I have a little barn that a friend is going to rent out as a wood shop in exchange for doing some work on the house, which is...
You're bartering labor?
Yeah. I'm really settling in.
That's a life goal.
I'm so excited about that.
Down in the valley, moved up from the city. It's a new way of living and I'm trying to get used to it. One park coolers, half an ounce of an idiot. Ordered a Manhattan and they call me a city, yeah. At first I hurt my feelings, but it's kinda got a ring to it. When you move to the country, they can tell when you're new to it. I'm looking at a place, but I'm trying to keep fitting in. It takes too long to be a local, so for now I'm a city-it.
I'm Matt Zucker, and this is City It, learning to live and love life in the Hudson Valley. As you know, I love meeting new people, and not just new to me, but new to the Hudson Valley. There's an excitement and energy of trading favorite places and discoveries. I always have 10,000 spots and tips to pass on, and yes, even after 11 plus years, I keep hearing about new things. Today you're in for a favorite new person. James Lauren is a nurse practitioner who recently opened up a primary care clinic here in Hudson. James is not only a health practitioner, but a new homeowner, and bravely let me try in-person recording at his adorable farmhouse with my slick new recording system. We talk about primary care, what it means, and why it matters, who their clinic serves, short answer, everybody, and that I can't buy a double appointment apparently. But we also chat about being a new homeowner, the city and the country, bartering labor, talking to people, being nice, painting a subfloor, which is a thing, and what a carpet knife is. Yes, I am still learning new things. We talk about how welcoming this area is for people like us, and our favorite places as well, including ice cream spots. I really do need to make a proper list. Tune in. It's my first in-person recording other than Upstate Art Weekend and Sheep and Wool with my niece-in-law more than a year ago. So you'll hear a few cars pass by, but excited to take this journalism on the road. Hi, James.
Hello.
So nice to be in person together.
Yes, I'm glad we made it work.
Yeah, I do mostly my recordings remote, but I just got this new system, so I'm excited to be in person. So we're sitting in your brand new house too.
Yes. You're one of my first guests.
Oh my goodness. So tell us about your connection to the Hudson Valley and your move up here, because it was very recent.
Yes. So I only got here full-time a month ago. I grew up in Long Island, so I used to come apple picking like people do who are from Long Island. I did my first bachelor's up in Syracuse in fine arts. And then I went to NYU for nursing. So I did the full sort of rotation through the state from Long Island all the way up to Western New York, then to the city. And then I think through the pipeline, the next step was Hudson Valley.
Oh my God. How did you choose to move here?
I have friends who moved to Cairo in 2020.
Oh, you pronounced it correctly.
I learned the hard way, you can imagine. Yeah. My friend moved to Cairo in 2020, and she has this incredible house, and she's been there for 5 years. I've been visiting the whole time, and I've been threatening to open up a clinic up here ever since I visited her for the first time because it was just so beautiful. I was just so taken aback by how beautiful everything was. And as a queer person, my main reason for not doing it earlier was I was always a little worried what it would be like up here if people were nice. And through her experience, and all of her friends were really cool. She has a really diverse friend group, all ages, races, sexualities. And I was like, oh, there's a million different kinds of people up here and everyone's nice.
Yeah.
So visiting her for 5 years, I had decided when I finished my doctorate, which was set for May 2025, I was going to move up. And that's exactly what I did.
One sidebar on the queer community for me is that I find upstate, I don't know if you have found this, is it is more multi-generational. It is more mixed. I just found in the city, like all the gay guys hung out together, lesbians, like it was very segregated. And up here, it's whoever around shows up at the potluck.
Yeah, and I've only been here again full-time for 1 month, so I haven't met a ton of people yet. For instance, I live a couple miles away from a vintage shop called Sideshow Vintage, and I walked in there and it's owned by this woman named Mary, who is so sweet and has connection to the queer community, and just right away welcomed me in and said, you have community here. And that was 2 miles from my house.
She said that.
Yeah, so I was just so excited. And that kind of keeps being my experience. I live right by Random Harvest, which I'm sure we'll talk about later, but there's even the signs up around town. There's rainbows everywhere and stuff. And I didn't need to move into the neighborhood, but I was also very excited to move somewhere where it seemed like there just really is a diversity of people. I'm certainly have nothing to worry about being the only one.
Yeah.
Not at all. I know Hudson, generally speaking, has a large gay community anyway. And then I didn't know what it would be like a little bit outside of town. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's a great area too. So I really wanted to talk about both your experience moving up here, because you are newer than me, but I think you are better equipped than I was. And just a suspicion, and most people are. And then also about your business, about the clinic. So you're 2 months in. So what has the acclimation been like? This morning we were texting about carpet knife blades, which I didn't even know what you were talking about. I was going to Google until you sent me a picture.
Yeah.
But how's the acclimation been?
It's been great. Thank God for Google. And the friend that I told you about who lives in Cairo, her name is Lindsay, and she, for a living, makes HGTV type home renovation shows. Oh. So I moved up here with a cheat. I said, I have a person up here who knows how to do everything and knows the people. So I thought I'd be like, great, I'll use her contractors, I'll use her plumber, I'll use her everything. As it turns out, people don't cross the river. So I tried to call people over there. They wouldn't come over here. I've been finding my own people little by little, but she is an amazing resource for knowing how to do stuff. So I'll ask her, do you think this project I want to do on the house is truly DIY? Can I learn how to do it? Or is this something I should outsource? For instance, I have a little guest apartment, which is a crazy thing to say, moving from Brooklyn and having lived in the city.
It sounds so indulgent, but it's so normal. It's like having an outbuilding.
And I have one of those too.
Oh, you have outbuildings? I love outbuildings.
I have a little barn that a friend is going to rent out as a wood shop in exchange for doing some work on the house, which is...
You're bartering labor?
Yeah. I'm really settling in.
That's a life goal.
I'm so excited about that. When I looked at the guest house, the main house was very empty in a beautiful way, not much to undo, but the guest house had a really horrific carpet. It smelled like there was a cat living there that didn't have a litter box.
Yeah.
So that had to go, and she said I could do that myself. So that's how I learned all about carpet knife and how to do that whole project.
Carpet knife, to be clear for our listeners, it's a knife
that you use to cut carpets.
Yeah. And the blade must be thicker than a razor blade.
It's just a razor blade.
I stopped at Agway and he said, yeah, I have a regular one, but I think it's not thick enough for you.
It's pretty much just a razor blade. I don't know my blade thicknesses, but it's pretty much just a razor blade. It's just the thing that's holding it and the way that you use it. But I did that myself. I ripped up that whole carpet and then painted the floor. And I've been...
You painted the floor?
Yeah. I was going to put down like cheap tiling, which you can do, which is nice. But then you have to rip that back up. I talked to people in Lowe's. I also talked to other people who have houses around here, and they said that you can paint the subfloor, which I didn't know was a thing.
Why would you paint the subfloor?
Because then you don't have to install anything. And then eventually, if you do want to lay a nice flooring down, there's nothing to now rip up.
Oh.
So you can sand, clean, and just paint directly on the subfloor. And that's what I did. I'll show it to you later. It's really cute, actually. It came out nice. And I asked the guy at Lowe's if that was a good idea. And he said, yeah, absolutely. So that's what I did. But yeah, that's how I didn't know about a different knife for a carpet, or I didn't know what a subfloor was. I was showing him a picture. I said, this is what was under the carpet. He said, yes, that's a subfloor. I said, okay, great. They said, you can just paint that thing. I said, perfect, let's do it.
I'm jealous that you have the aspiration of becoming a DIYer. I don't have the courage. I really blame my parents. I don't know why I'm afraid to do these things. I guess if I just sucked it up, watched a video and tried, I'd be less fearful.
The key is knowing what makes sense to DIY and to even try. And if I mess this thing up, is this going to cost me more money than it would have in the first place just to have a professional do it? So ripping up carpet and painting a floor is something that everyone said, just do it yourself. You'll save a ton of money. And if you mess it up, you can't mess it up that bad.
Okay.
For instance, a fireplace, I want to put in a wood stove for the winter. And I've had people say, oh, buy a wood stove, find one at the Restore or on Facebook Marketplace, and then just hire someone to install it, or maybe you can do this or that. And that, I talk to my friends, that's a professional job. I'm not going to
if you have a stake, you could leak smoke all over your house.
You can't, I also think that if I get a brand new stove and have it professionally installed and have them do all that, exactly, then I've got someone on the hook for some kind of maintenance, and there's someone who can take responsibility for that job, which that's not something that I want to mess around.
By the way, a lot of people forget about fireplaces. Brian's religious about this, is that getting your chimney cleaned every year before the season starts. It's really safe and it really does help.
I asked them about what the maintenance would be like once I got it done, and they said, you find a chimney sweep. And everyone says around here is once you find your person, keep them for everything. I'm obsessed with my plumber. They've really saved my life out here. And
very important.
Yeah, I'll have my buddy that's my chimney sweep. I also, every person that does some work here or that I talk to about anything, I give them cards, and I'm grabbing patients as well. So when I was at the fireplace store, I was talking to them about his shoulder and that he needs a PT referral. And I said, come on by. It's also fixing up the house little by little.
You should just spend all day getting estimates and you can give out your business card.
That's what I'm doing.
Let's talk a little bit about your business. So tell us about what you opened up, because you opened up a new business. It's in healthcare, which is really important up here. And we're going to hold discussion about that too. But tell us, what did you open up in Hudson?
It's a primary care clinic. So it's where you go to get your annual physical and then build a relationship with your provider, who is going to be me, because I am the only one there right now. So it's me and my front desk, Shelby, who's amazing, and then Jennifer, who's a nurse who also has a med spa in the building.
Med spa?
Laser, face treatment, dermatology, facials, things like that. She does all sorts of really cool things that I've never heard of. That thing where you take your plasma out and put it back in like filler. So esthetician stuff. Yeah, you come to me for your health, and then she'll help you stay looking young and beautiful if that's your goal. So whatever your goal is, what our goal is. So you're not going to come to my clinic and have me shoving my values down your throat. You come for your medical care and whatever your goals are. So in primary care, that means annual physicals, vaccines, well care. I also do PAP. So, I do gynecological work.
Yep.
As a primary care provider, I do everything up to a point. So also as a queer trans person, I specialize in gender affirming and trauma informed care. Anybody who has a cervix has had a PAP before, and a lot of us have had traumatic and terrible experiences with people that just don't treat bodies delicately. I can do it nicer.
Yeah.
Maybe I can give you an Ativan before. So we try and find a way to make these things less unpleasant, I would say. But let's say I do a PAP and it comes back clear, great, you're good for 5 years. But if it comes back and it needs to be looked into further, then I would refer you to a gynecology practice that can do an ultrasound or that can do colposcopy. So I do a little bit of everything. If you establish a relationship and let's say you get your annual physical with me, everything seems good, and then you get sick. Okay, you can come back to me for that. I can take care of your sick visit. I can test you for strep throat. I can give you antibiotics. I do a lot of mental health care. So if you're having depression, anxiety, we can talk about medication. So I am the medication person for that. I'm not a therapist. I can help you find a therapist, and then I can give you your Wellbutrin.
I'll be honest, I love my primary, but this sounds like a different kind of primary care because it seems a little more interconnected or a little bit more resourceful. Like I don't know, my primary really would know those things, would say, oh, go to this person or go to this therapist. Wouldn't do that kind of stuff. So maybe, because he's my primary, but he's not my coordinating primary.
Okay. That is the main thing that I want to do, is be that central person for your healthcare. So if people have complex medical conditions, I want to be coordinating that care. I want to get the note from the rheumatologist and from the dermatologist and from the neurologist. Again, I can do everything to a point for every system of your body, and then it needs to go to a specialist if it becomes complicated or if it needs imaging or testing. But then I want those notes back in your chart so I can make sure, is the neurologist talking to this other one? So for instance, I have a patient living with HIV who's also on biologics for a rheumatological disorder, and that's a kind of medication that can lower your immune system. Now, is somebody with an inherently potentially lowered immune system safe to be on these medications? Are they communicating with each other? Do they each know what the other one is doing? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I'll say that this person living with HIV has an undetectable viral load. So just to put that out there, her immune system is robust and great. And it's totally fine to be on this medicine, but it's important for the infectious disease specialist and the rheumatologist to know what
somebody
each
looking
other
out
is
for
doing.
that. Yeah.
Exactly. So that is part of what I do. The biggest challenge so far will be finding those specialists, because coming from the city where I had a million different specialists in a 5-block radius, now I am finding it challenging to know who is the rheumatologist I'm sending somebody to, who is the infectious disease specialist. And that's something that
It's true. I kind of schlep all over the valley. I go to Kingston and I go to Millbrook and I go a lot of different places. I guess Albany would have a lot.
Yes. And that's going to be part of my job over the next month or two, is taking some days to actually physically go up there, find the specialists. I've been Googling, I've been calling and emailing, and build my little network up here so that I have a go-to that I can trust, because that's something I love at building a practice in the city. I have a gastroenterologist who I love, who I text. I say, can you get this person in today? And what do you think I should do for this? This is my plan. Does that make sense? And I have a lot of different specialists on speed dial, and we have a relationship. So I want to build that up here with people who are a little more local. My impression is that the specialists are all the way down from Kingston or Poughkeepsie even, all the way up to Albany.
Yeah, Vassar, yeah.
Yeah, and it feels, oh no, something's an hour away from here. But first of all, a lot of my patients are coming from south. So then it's not even an hour. And also in the city, I was living in Brooklyn. It took me an hour to get to some places anyway. It's not that unreasonable.
No, I think we do. I think we do it for healthcare up here. Either you go to the city or you do it here. The question about the patients would be, what's your patient profile like? What kind of patients do you want to attract? Do you want to attract a certain kind of patient or specialty or gender? Is there anything, what are you looking for?
That's a great question. I want everybody. I want everybody.
You want everybody.
I don't like having just one specific thing. So I did a fellowship training. It was the Keith Haring Fellowship at Callan Lord in the city, which is an LGBTQ specialty clinic. And they're an FQHC, a federally qualified health center. So they take uninsured patients, every kind of patient, and they specialize in LGBTQ plus care. So I have specialty training there. I wish that it didn't have to be specialty medical care, but at this point it is. It's not something that's taught as well in medical schools as we'd like, and people don't have exposure. So I do transgender hormone therapy, a lot of sexual health, HIV prevention, and I don't like seeing just one kind of patient though. So even within the LGBTQ umbrella, it's quite a diverse population. Yeah. But you know what? I also love taking care of straight people. I love them. I love all
There's some of them in Hudson too.
And I really like that diversity. A really good primary care day for me is when I look at my schedule at the end of the day, I say, wow, I saw somebody with shoulder pain, somebody with headaches, somebody who was thinking about starting an antidepressant, someone else wanted to start testosterone for hormone therapy, someone else just needed an annual physical, someone else needed help getting their disability paperwork done, like a little bit of everything. Someone else had a stomach ache, someone else had strep. So I love that. I love a little bit of everything. And the only thing is we only have 20-minute visits. So when people are really complicated, I just have to set expectations that we're going to have to do things that are going to take some time.
What's the 20-minute visit trip by insurance?
It's just the practice protocol.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually pretty good. So a lot of places do 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
And yeah, so that means I see 3 patients an hour in person. I also do telemed. So I do video visits and phone call visits. Those are 15 minutes. So, you know, some people, what I've been finding up here is that so far my patients have not been to medical care in a very long time. So that first visit is tough to get a lot done because we're starting from scratch about your family history, your medical history.
Can I buy a double?
No. And I have had people ask that before. What I tell them too is primary care You're walking into the office, you're walking out, right? I did 10 years working in a hospital all over med-surg, telemetry. I worked in the ER holding area for the last few years in the hospital system. And those patients need a lot of care. But in primary care, they're walking in the door themselves. Or they're getting themselves in however they're getting in and they're leaving. The reason I'm saying that is that it's not an emergency. And what I say is there's a room for that. So if you have an emergency, there's a room for that.
Right. When I first met you, I was like, oh, it's a new emergency clinic. And you're like, yeah, no, that's down the street.
Yeah, exactly. No. I don't do stitches, and I can't set your broken limb. But once you get that done, then you can come to me and we can make sure that your ongoing care is good. Are you set up with a physical therapist? I can take your stitches out. I can make sure the wound doesn't look infected. But if you have a true emergency, you got to go to the hospital. And then by the time you come to me, nothing is that emergent. Nothing is that urgent. I say, we're going to get it all done. It might take a little bit of time. I'm not going to solve the problem that you've had your whole life in 20 minutes, but I'll get a good start on it. And we'll figure out where to send you for more in-depth imaging and workup. But there's plenty that we can get done. I just do to set those expectations that we're not going to, if you haven't been to medical care in 10 years, and you unfurl a scroll of problems, it's going to take a minute to get through all of them. So we'll prioritize what's the one you want today. What are your health goals? And we'll make it happen.
Yeah. What about location? How did you pick? You're on Fairview Avenue in Hudson, or I think it's really Greenport.
Yeah, technically.
Rather, my expectations, everything's going to open on Warren Street, on the High Street in downtown.
So I don't own the clinic also, to be clear. I am the medical provider, so I'm the main provider. I'm running the clinic, but the owners own other branches in the city. So I think this is their 8th location that they've opened up.
Oh, so
and what we're used to in the city is foot traffic and being in places where people are going to be. So certainly when they were looking at places up here, they were looking on Warren Street, and they did consider that. They almost signed with somebody down there. But the more, it's like being up here, you just talk to the people that live here. And I don't think a medical clinic up here is working on foot traffic. Like, they're not waiting for people to walk by and say, hey, let me go to the doctor. You know what I mean? Yeah. Why be on the place where people can walk to when we can have a big place with a parking lot? Because more people are going to be driving.
And that's where people run errands. It's right by ShopRite. It's right by Walmart. It is. That's where people get stuff done. Warren Street's more like a mall.
Exactly. I also think when I tell people about the building, it was the Link Chiropractor building, and everyone knows it. It's this like house. It's really cute. And it's right by the Jiffy Lube. Everybody knows the building, and they're like, oh, that is a really good location. Because like you said, it's right on the main drag where people are going to do a lot of their shopping.
I can get my car tuned up, and I get myself tuned up.
Exactly. You could do it all. Yeah.
I'm special.
And there's movie theaters over there. There's a lot of stuff over there. And I think most importantly for up here, the parking lot. No joke.
Yeah.
When people are coming from wherever, they need to be able to park. It's a great space. We have a lot of rooms in there, and right now we're not that busy yet, but when we get busy, it's going to be really amazing to be able to accommodate having a few medical providers and having the med spa in there too.
Do you come across any people with this kind of choice about, should I maintain my medical care in the city, which a lot of people do, my husband does, or up here, like I switched? And I don't know if people try to do both, but then I don't get where your records are. I don't get how that would work to have both. Do you really have to pick?
Logistics have to do also with insurance.
Oh.
So a lot of the times insurance is going to make you list your primary care provider. Otherwise, they're going to charge you a different rate as someone might be considered a specialist. Where you keep your medical care is a really personal decision, and it depends on the complexity of your care. But let's say you're nice and healthy. You get your once-a-year checkup, and you're on your medication that you're stable on for many years, and you just see them once a year. Okay, but then what happens when you get sick?
Yeah.
Now you're going to urgent care. Now it's all fragmented. So now your original medical
start over.
You have to go in and tell them your whole history. Where I encourage everyone, when they're feeling well, come in. So then if and when something goes wrong, we've got this baseline to build on. I'm not meeting you for the very first time and asking you if any of your grandparents had any genetically linked conditions. We're starting with, hey, how are you? How have you been? How are your cats? Because I do write that in everybody's charts. I want to know about their pets and stuff, of course. And then what's going on today? We're not starting from scratch. I have your med list. I have your history. I know everything. If you keep your medical care somewhere that's not local to where you are, you're going to run into the problem when you have acute issues, you don't have someone to help you. Now, something like a medical practice in the city might be able to do telemed for you, but you're not going to be able to go in and see them. If you have an earache, there are limits to telemedicine. They can't put an otoscope
I need
in
you
your
to go
ear.
look in my ear. Yeah.
Exactly, to see, do I need drops? Do I need something else? Or do I need a cleaning? And there's only so much that someone can do over the phone. One of the advantages of our clinic, I hear that up here, a lot of people get full. So someone's trying to see their primary care and they can't see them for 6 months.
Yeah.
And it's a small office or it's a hospital system.
Yeah, that
they
happens.
can't see anyone. We are a small private practice, but we have 8 locations that have providers, 2 or 3 providers in all of them. So if I physically couldn't see, let's say we get really busy and I can't physically see you today, someone in the practice can see you for a telemedicine visit, if that's appropriate. So you don't have to rely on only the in-person visits. But again, we're wide open right now, and I plan to stay to make sure that people who are our patients are going to be able to get, so it's not that year-long wait to get primary
It is
care.
crazy. And what about incentive? When I talk to different people, like the cheese shop had come in and you get like a discount off a cheese plate. The wine place had a free wine tasting. Do you have incentives or lollipops? What's the pull?
We take insurance.
Okay, there you go.
All right. We take a lot of insurances. So you shouldn't be paying a lot for your medical care anyway. Now, the medical system in this country is a mess, which is also why I'm going back to school again for healthcare policy. So wish me luck on that. Yeah. I just started on Tuesday. Yeah.
Wow.
At the School of Public Health in the city. So it's an online program, but I get really frustrated with the care. And then I think, okay, maybe there's something I can do about it on an upstream level. So that's something I'm working on also. But in the meantime, the incentive is that we have open availability of appointments, and I'll think about the lollipops too. But I think the fact that we're here, that we're local, that we have openings, and that we take insurance, because that's the other thing. A lot of providers up here are going concierge.
Yeah.
So you can get medical care and you can get it the same week.
It's just really
Yeah, but you're going to have to pay cash for it.
I know.
So we do take a ton of insurances, and we take a lot of Medicaid programs. I'm getting credentialed with CDPHP. So as soon as we knew we were coming up here, I called people, asked around, what's the plan that most people up here are on? And we're slowly getting credentialed with everything that's up here. I'm also going to get my Massachusetts licensing and my Connecticut licensing.
Well, that's a good idea. We're so close to the border. Yeah.
So close. I already have some patients who came from Great Barrington.
Yeah.
And if they come to me, the state licensing doesn't matter, but I want to be able to just expand the amount of care that I can provide.
That's cool. All right, let's talk about the area a little bit. Do you have your favorite places yet that people, I build a list of secret go-to places as well as well-known ones. I'm curious what yours are now that you've been up here.
And I'll take that list of other things that you have too. I'll say most of my favorite things that I've been finding so far have to do with food, of course.
Yeah. It's amazing here.
Yeah, it's so good. I didn't even realize. I thought I'm moving up from the city. I guess I'll just get pizza when I go visit there. But I live right near Tommy B's. And they are an incredible pizza place that is run by people who did Roberta's and Best Pizza.
Really? I didn't know that.
2 miles down.
Yeah.
It's on 23. Yeah, it's not only okay or good, it's excellent.
Do they have gluten-free pizza? Do you know?
They do.
Really?
Yeah, and it's really good. And they have specials every day, and it's reasonably priced. The town I live in, Craryville, is this tiny little town, and it's so beautiful. And there's like only 3 or 4 stores in it, and all of them are great. Random Harvest, I love. Zinnia's, I'm obsessed with. Their food is incredible, and they also have soft serve ice cream, and I love it. Sideshow Vintage, I was talking about. And each of these places now, I know the people there. They're all so friendly. They're so nice. I put my cards everywhere I go. And then probably my favorite place I've found so far is Samascott's.
Oh, I haven't been there yet.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to know the farms up here. So that's a big orchard farm place.
Yes, but most
In Ghent
importantly,
or Chatham?
maybe Kinderhook or Valatia.
North.
Kinderhook, yeah, I think so. It's more importantly though, they make their own ice cream. And it's the best ice cream I've had so far. So I'm making my way around having ice cream everywhere I can. I found some good ones, but that is by far my favorite. They make their peach ice cream. It's made with their own peaches. They have a lavender ice cream that's made with local lavender.
Hey, maybe help me. Hudson Valley Magazine does do the best ice cream places, but maybe you could help me make a city at ice cream list, because I've got a few too.
What do you got?
We were at Stewart's last night, so friends were visiting, so you get a good shake there. And they're
Absolutely.
dairy famous. Fortunes in Tivoli.
This is what I've heard.
It's exotic.
I have to go there.
Yeah,
I'm told I have to go there.
And they made a big hit out of it. Everyone talks about Holy Cow in Red Hook, which is fine.
Okay, I haven't been there
But
yet.
and then there's Dell's, which is
I've passed
a
it.
dairy in Red Hook, but they have 2 locations. They sell their ice cream out of Old Hudson in Hudson, and they also have a place down in Rhinebeck.
I want to try them all.
Yeah.
I want to make
We
my way
build a
through all of
list,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, I have a list on my phone of just ice cream places that people recommend. But Semascot's incredible. And again, they make their own with local ingredients, so their berry flavors and stuff.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's really good. And it's just a great place. Everything is so beautiful up here too. I take a book, I go get some ice cream, I sit down. I'm really excited. They have a corn maze there. I've never done a corn maze. I can't wait.
So I have.
Did you get lost?
I did it at Mead Orchards, so I used to live around the corner from them. So I went in there. Brian wouldn't go with me. So I went in, I paid the $5 for the thing. And I got totally lost. I was terrified. It was like Children of the Corn.
I love it.
And I lucked out, and I found this like young family. And I asked them if I could tag along with
my
them.
God.
And they looked at me like some crazy perv. And I just stayed with them to get myself out of it.
Oh my God.
But it was very exciting.
That's really
I filmed
funny.
some clips of it. So when you go in there, use your camera because the crazy turns.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, wow.
I already have a plan.
It'll be
My
coming
friends-
soon, right? Yeah.
My friends are coming up to visit, and that's our plan for the day, is to go to the corn maze. We're going to bring a bottle of water, some good comfortable shoes, and we're just going to get in there. If you stamp and find like all the hidden, I think it's 8 spots that you have to find, then you get free ice cream.
Oh, that's a really good idea. So at least you have a plan to move through it.
Yeah.
Maybe
We'll
if there
break
was a
it down.
game I could focus
There's a
on
game.
that. Yeah.
I can't wait. It's going to be so fun. Another place I love, Story Screen, which you did a podcast.
Oh, I love that.
I love them. So I go there. I go alone. I love going to a movie alone. So I'll go. I'll have my Dino Nuggets. I'll watch a movie.
Yeah, they have
chat
a
with
table with the
Jasper.
thing,
Yeah, and it's like I'm saying, everywhere I go, I start to know the people's names, and they know who I am. I love that up here. And yeah, so the movie theater. Oh, one other thing I not mention. So I went to Plaza Diner because I love a diner.
Yep.
And you know how every diner has like a display of their desserts? That's just a diner thing. They've got cake, right? I love a piece of cake and a cup of tea as like a little snack in the middle of the day with my book.
Yeah.
So I'm like, something about these cakes looks extra special. These look really good. And sure enough, it was like one of the best pieces of cake I've ever had in my life. And I eat a lot of cake.
Oh.
Grandma's Hands Bakery. So it's a woman named Karen.
It's a great
cooks
name.
it. Yeah, she makes her cakes at home. So she doesn't have a storefront yet. She might soon. And she hand delivers and bakes all of the cakes for the diner. So every time you go to Plaza Diner, it's fresh, local, homemade cake, and it's excellent. She made my birthday cake. My office coworkers got me a surprise cake from her for my birthday, and I had ordered one from her. So I had 2 of her cakes for my birthday recently. It was amazing.
Oh, that's great. I don't know if you've been there yet or if it's open, but right near you in Hillsdale, they're opening up Cakes and Books.
You're kidding. Those are my 2 favorite things.
I know. I just want to tell you, like just down the road from you.
Wait, it didn't open yet?
I don't know. It's next to the liquor store right off by Anthony's Cook and Larder.
Yeah, I know that spot.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's a few doors in from 23.
You're kidding me. I have to tell my best friend. I have a friend who that's what we do together. We like eat dessert and we trade books.
Send
And
me
we
a
go to
picture-
bookstore.
send me a picture with Cakes and Books.
Oh my God, I will. Molly, we're going to Cakes and Books. Yeah, bookstore is something that I've been looking for. I've been to the Book Barn. It's so cute. It's so cute. I don't do well in used bookstores that much though, because I'm really a sci-fi nerd. So I need a horror section.
You don't want
I need
Hell
a
on
sci-fi.
Hubbard. You want new.
No. Yeah, it's not even like the timing of when they're published. It's just an organizational thing. Like for the aesthetic, I like to get lost in a used bookstore or book barn, but I don't usually find as much there. But I went to Spotty Dog.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Yeah, I got 3 books there yesterday. That was cute.
Yeah, it's bar and books. I can't decide which it wants to be.
Yeah, I know, and I don't drink, so that's why I avoided it at first. But then I
art
was
supplies in the back, which is cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I am also an artist.
Oh, you are.
Side note.
When
yeah.
do you find the time?
I think the busier I am, the more I actually get done.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So when I can use the art as something to get away from all the medical stuff, it feels like an escape. But when I first moved to the city after getting my fine arts degree from Syracuse, I was bartending and making art, and I was trying to do it as a living. It didn't last very long. I was like, I hate this now.
Yeah.
So having something else to do as my main gig and then making my art for fun. But one of my goals is so I make work on Bristol board with a Sharpie, markers, Bic pen, or just kind of anything you can find at a regular store. And they're a little bit big, but I want to scan them in, make kind of small prints, and then draw over the prints and sell them at a holiday market.
Oh, that'd be great. There's a lot of those up here.
Yeah. Sideshow Vintage does a good holiday market. I might want to get a table there. So that's a goal, is by November or December, I want to have something going with that also. Yeah, and I have the space here to actually make art.
Yeah, we all need goals as winter comes and stuff.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts for listeners about, you're so much new. I just bought a house, but this is my second one up here, so I'm a little bit experienced in it too. Any advice for newly moved people? You're clearly not a city yet.
I don't know. I'm not sure where the definition exactly lies.
Cut up a rug. I don't know.
Yeah, but I had to Google how to do it.
Oh
it wasn't a generational thing that was taught to me. I think that talking to people is the main thing. When I got here, went to the diner, sat down, and before I was here full time, which again has only been a month, I was back and forth. I got the house in April. So I was back and forth for a long time, only on the weekends. So it was hard for me to really get a foothold. But I would talk to people. So I needed a cat sitter. So I went to the diner, and instead of, not everything is online up here as much. I looked at TaskRabbit and it didn't exist. I also, city people, if you think you're going to be ordering delivery dinner, you're not.
You're not.
It's not a thing. Who knew? So anyway, you better buy groceries.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to learn.
I did learn that the hard way, but I'm happy to actually have a fridge that can fit food and a kitchen to cook it in, and a sink that
is
can fit
advice,
dishes.
actually, too. If you end up with a small fridge, you might want to consider getting a second one, putting in the basement, because you need to keep stuff around.
You have to have food in the house, yeah. And you find your local places, but the restaurants close at 8 or 9 or something like that.
Yeah, they're not open every day.
But so when I very first got here, I needed help because I was only here on the weekends. I needed a cat sitter. So again, instead of looking at TaskRabbit like I would do in the city, I asked the waitress.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I said, do you know anyone who cat sits? And she said, oh, over there, those two ladies work at Animal Kind.
Lucky. That's great.
So I went over and I talked to them, and sure enough, they helped me find a cat sitter.
Yeah,
and then
you just gotta ask.
Yeah, and then there was some lovely people at Random Harvest that I started chatting with just about their breakfast. They said, "Oh, that looks good. I haven't tried that. Whatever." And so I think the thing is,
don't be shy.
Don't be too shy. And if people talk to you, talk back to them. Say hello.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do the Trixie's List advertisement as well.
Yeah, I do it. I love it. It's great. Rich is great, and I get a lot of clicks from Trixie's List. It's a great resource.
I also love their advice on there also. So they have something about how not to get lost in a corn maze, or it's
good
really
to know.
It's a really great website. But they also said something that really stuck with me on that website about be nice. And that sounds pretty obvious. In the city, you build up a little bit of New York City people are. Yeah, they're nice. They're good to you, but it's it can be a bit abrupt. It can be we have somewhere to be. But the other thing is it's a million people. You're all packed together, but you're never going to see that person again in your life. Whereas here,
you're going to see them in 20 minutes.
Yes. Yes. And if you get and I could have a little temper. So if I get a little snippy with somebody at a store, which, I hope I'm not like that anyway. But if I do, I live here now. It's a small town. It's a bunch of small towns near each other. And people seem to know each other. People are going to come back. You're going to get snippy with someone who almost walks into you, and then they're the person that's the only one in town that does fireplaces or something like that. So it's be nice because you want to be nice, and you want to have friends, and you want to be friendly and build community, but also because practically speaking, you don't know who you need to help. And I want to be here to help other people. There's a lot that I need help with. So I don't want to accidentally alienate someone by being rude.
No, that's good advice.
Yeah.
to get used to it. 1 part noodles, half an ounce of an idiot. Ordered a Manhattan and they call me a city ass. At first I hurt my feelings, but it's kinda got a ring to it. When you move to the country, they can tell when you're new to it. I'm looking at a place, but I'm trying to keep fitting in. It takes too long to be a local, so for now I'm a city.